humanity, a loving relationship to the being of the bee. So, so we always want to keep that in mind. So yes, let's just go around the corner quickly so we all know who we are, and just let's state our name and where we're from. And yeah, right. So so we'll go around the table and just say where you're from and what your name is and like how many hives you have and if they're how they came out of the winter, and then we'll move on. Yes. Cool. To be seen. Right. Oh yeah. Oh Barry, you're so wanted right here. So okay, good. Yeah. Right there.
I'm Mary Helen Beveridge, and I live in Portland, North Portland, and I have 2 hives, and they actually made it through the winter. I know last meeting I was like, I don't think they made it, but I think they've thrived, and I think it was due to hearing.
Whoa. Just a quickie. There'll be time for that.
My name is Jennifer. I'm from Livingston Mountain. I've been doing beekeeping for exactly 1 year now. I lost 2 hives in the fall because we didn't have queens, and I'm hoping my 3 hives are still hibernating, but nobody's come out, so I think I've lost my 3 hives.
Barry, I'm from Ridgefield. I currently have no bees. I was queenless with a swarm that I got last summer, and then another hive just took off in October, and that's where I am.
I'm in Northeast Portland. Last year I built a eco hive, and at the end of the project I hurt my ankle and I had to give up on beekeeping for last year because I couldn't walk. So hive's sitting in the shop ready to go, all done.
Kyle Langendijk. I'm from Southeast Portland. Got a small beekeeping supply company that started last year. Met Mary Helen at the pub meeting, or chatted again, reintroduced at the pub meeting, and decided to come up here.
What's the pub meeting?
Portland Urban Beekeepers.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I've got a couple of hives, but merged it with another apiary, so there's a total of 12 hives there, and they're all doing well. It's sort of a shared apiary. So, yeah.
And I'm Victoria Palmatier. I'm from Washougal. I don't currently have any bees. I've been beeless for about 4 years while we moved and some other things. So I'm ready with one insulated. We'll see.
My name is Rachel Boyce, and I'm from Skamania. Marsha Moen told me about this, and I didn't know there were any meetings apart from the Clark County. I lost 2 hives over the winter of 2016, and 1 hive right as we got into winter, this past winter. And I'm just kind of learning from trial and error and interested in the more natural way of keeping them. These are my daughters who want to learn about bees, Anna and Lydia.
Hello, I'm Debbie Cochran. I'm from Woodland, Washington, north of here, and I'm a beekeeper. I lost 5 hives, not this winter, but the winter before, and I was able to procure 2 colonies. They're doing great, and I'm growing grasses for sketch this spring, and we're going to work that out.
We'll be talking about that too. Yeah.
I'm Cindy Strasbaugh. I live in Camas, and I don't have any bees. Maybe sometime.
Ready? Okay.
And I'm Ginger, and I'm from Vancouver, and I have 1 hive, and the bees are flying, and I'm really excited about it.
Awesome. Okay, Janine and Dennis, who were students of ours in the past, are with us. They just posted, so they're here from Connecticut. Come on in. Who are you? Hi. Great. Glad to have you here. No problem. People are going to be trickling in, that's fine. So normally what we do is we would start now with the state of the garden, and then we would also go around and check with everybody about any issues they're having or questions they have going into spring. But what I'm going to start with first this morning, because we have a wonderful amount of them, and I wanted to share the joy, is this has been a phenomenal month for our nonprofit. Okay, for those of you who aren't aware of who we are, Preservation Beekeeping Council is the nonprofit, and the club is just under that. It's a little kind of auxiliary thing. So the nonprofit has just been forming and getting on its feet, and we're all volunteer. There's a group of 7 or 8 of us who kind of carry out the work for now, and we've been getting our projects ready to offer. What do we want to do? Setting our mission statements, all that. Well, sometimes when you're lucky, the stars align and in a certain way, and things start happening. So this last week, the stars started aligning and things started happening. So here's what happened. First of all, a little while back, Thea, who's not here today, and is our kind of resource director and fundraiser, was the person who set up a GoFundMe campaign to send Jacqueline and I to Holland so we could speak at the Bee Conference and bring information back from the club. So then we were looking for, okay, now how else do we make money? We get Bee Club members, it's a $30 membership for a year, so those kind of trickle in. So it was like, okay, what are we going to do? We need to start raising money. We need to get our projects out there. Gosh, Thea, you did such a good job. Why don't you do another crowdsource program for us? So she set up something on Fundraiser, which she launched this week. And it's called the Bee Haven Project. And basically what we're doing is we're offering the world the opportunity for a $200, it's a $200 donation, we will put up a Bee Haven box. Barry innovated these boxes. They're super, super insulated. They're made to be set and left alone. We have ability to feed the hives if they're new swarms, and we need to take care of them that way. And we will be checking on them several times a year to see how the bees are doing and to do some filming and to report back to the people who have the hives. Yes, so you can see what Barry's talking about at our YouTube channel, which is, of course, Preservation Beekeeping. And he talks about how the hives are made and what they look like. So Thea launched that campaign like 3 days ago. And we have over $1,000 so far. And I haven't checked today because I've been busy. It might be more. But we have people signing up for hives. So, and then other people are putting in $25, $30 just towards supplies and things for that program. So I was like, holy cow, it's taking off. And now we have people, since we posted it on Facebook, that are saying, I have property, you can put a hive there. We have property, you can post one there. I've got some forest acreage. The guy that I get my ducks from has a huge property up in Woodland. He says, come put them up on my property where my ducks are. So it's like, so people are offering places for them and people are sending in money. So we were very excited about that. So on the tail end of that, I had meetings this week, and Thea had meetings this week with the library administrator and Pete Capel, who's the city administrator for Camas. Pete is terribly excited about bees now, thanks to us. And he is going to be approaching the city council to have them declare the city of Camas a bee city. There's a certification for that, Bee City USA. In Washington, Puyallup and Seattle are already Bee City USAs, and it's a designation that the council votes in, and then the city works with partnering nonprofits to do some projects. Like once a year, they have to commit to a major project. So the major projects would be things like hanging up the Bee Haven boxes. That could be part of the project. Planting pollinator strips and filling up local vacant lots with bee forage, educational programs, outreach, a bee fair, whatever we can do to educate the community about bees. So he's excited about being all on board for that. And in the process of that, he is asking Jacqueline and I to help him write a new bee law. So the city of Camas has the weirdest bee law you've ever seen. They use a word that I've never heard of. They say you can only use immovable framed hives, which I don't know what immovable means, but I think it's like clearly a law that was written by people who can't tell a bee from a yellow jacket, and he's looking at it going, this is really wrong, we have to do this. So Jacqueline and I are going to be proposing with him some extraordinarily revolutionary bee laws for this community. And one of the things that we're going to ask is that people who keep bees in Camas don't bring packages of bees in. The bees have to be sourced from our area. And we think if we can get this on the books here, that it will start to pick up traction elsewhere. We still do not have hive beetles and Africanized bees, and we want to stay away from that, and they come in packages. A friend of mine from New Zealand just wrote me and said, well, we've got Varroa now. I said, how did it get in? She said, packages from commercial beekeepers who shipped in out of the country. So we're pressing the city and saying it really is to your agricultural advantage as well as the citizenry to not have these new pathogens coming in. So we're very excited about their progressiveness and willingness to really work on us so that the law will be not just good for beekeepers and the way they work their hives, but that it will be good for bees and it will be good for the citizenry. So that's happening. At the library, they're so excited with us that they want to partner with us as an organization. They've been very happy with us coming in and doing our regular meetings. And the librarian is talking to the city attorney right now and will be the first person probably to put up a Bee Haven box at the library. And furthermore, we are also partnering through Thea with another organization of national prominence called Because. Because offers grants to put observation hives in schools. So I have one that I manage out in Washougal at Mount Pleasant, and Pete Capel has been working with the school system for years and is jazzed about getting observation hives in Camas schools. And now he is talking to the library director to not only post a Bee Haven box, but he wants an observation hive in the library. He wants us to start showing up at the farmer's market. He would like us to see if we could get table space at the Camas Art and Garden Fair that happens here in May. So I'm going to talk to you about that. So all of that happened this week. Next week, I am offering a two-week class on beginning beekeeping. So I'm holding it here at the library, and I'm holding it for free. So it's my kind of community pitch. We're advertising it all over the place. Come on, Jacqueline. And so that starts next weekend. And I put out a press release to the Post Register, and they showed up at my house yesterday and did like a long interview about who we are and what we're doing and what the bee class is all about. So that'll be coming out in a couple of days. So I advertised the class on like our next door, Crown Park lists, at all of the bee club sites, on our Facebook, all over the place, and we'll see who shows up. But I am confident that it will be a way to really help raise our membership and show what we're doing. Now, partnership with the library, I said, what does that mean? And they said, that means that we advertise you, that our logo goes up with your logo, that everything that you're doing in the community, we advertise it on our library page as well. And she said, it's perfectly fine for you to start putting out a membership box, donation box, because like we're a nonprofit and this whole thing is anything we do here needs to be free. And they said, no, you're a nonprofit. You can put out donation box, takes all the donations that you can possibly get. We're all for it. And they are looking at possibly down the line hosting a movie night fundraiser for us up here. So the library is like on board, and Connie's like, how quick can we get the hive up? So, so all of that just started happening. So, so yay, let's give a hand for it. Yeah. So, my gosh, I'm in shock. Miracles for the natural beekeeper, yes. So, yes, miracles, magic. So, the website updates. We have a wonderful woman in North Carolina who's donating web services to us. So she helps me kind of update things and keep them going. And we've redone the membership page so you can actually find your way through it. And very soon we're going to put up a shop. So if you have any things that you make and would like to sell and donate 10% of it to the organization, we're happy to put you on our page. Another thing I would like to ask is, right now, Jacqueline and I are primarily the ones who are putting information and educational resources up on the website. I really want the website to be more of the preservation beekeeping community. So if you would like to write any little article about who you are, where you keep your bees, how you've been keeping your bees, what works, what doesn't, and email them to me, I would be more than happy to blog post them, because I want people to see more faces than me and Jacqueline's up there. It's not the Jacqueline and Susan show, it's the preservation beekeeping show. So please, a lot of you are doing interesting things. We love to know what you're doing with your pollinator gardens and things. We want to be able to show people how we put this work in action besides in Jacqueline and my hives. So
you don't have to worry about it being professionally written. We both write. So
we're happy to edit or make sure it's tidy.
We'll make sure you sign the article.
Yeah, so please. And
3 paragraphs even.
Yeah, something short, because the more we get up there, the merrier. They don't have to be long pieces. And like Debbie Cochran and I gathered grass at her property last year for the beginnings of how could we start doing skep making classes, because that's how I weave. So skeps are woven hives. They're those old time beekeeping mounds, which I brought to the Portland Urban Beekeeper group this week and showed off. And it's a very old method of beekeeping, but it's extraordinarily bee friendly and extraordinarily beekeeper friendly. So we gathered enough grass to have a small class. Several of us have actually finished our new skeps. Some of us are still working on them. And Debbie has great grass. It's like super dense and really thick and tall. It's like tall horse pasture. And so this year, a friend of mine was saying, how many classes can you do on skeps? And I said, it's the grass. I can't cut that much grass, or I'd be cutting grass all summer long. And she said, why don't you pay someone for the grass? Had never thought of that. So I got a hold of Debbie and said, you've got a sickle bar mower that we invested in last year, a smaller one, which cuts grass very low to the ground. It's the type of thing you would need to cut a lot of grass fast. You got a lot of people out at your farm. I will pay you $15 for a 5-gallon bucket of grass. Do you have people who want to gather? And she said, yeah. So she's looking to get a group of people together, cut it, dry it, tie it so it's in bundles. So if people, after they take the class, go, whoopee, I want to make 6 more of these, they'll know where to go to get some grass if they don't want to have to get their own. And $15 a bucket is pretty darn cheap. But, it's like, yes. No, it takes 3 to 5. So, yeah. And it's a heck of a lot easier than going out trying to chop grass on your own, a few strands here and there, unless, you're into that. Yeah. Yeah. So we're very excited about this. This means that I'll be able to offer many skep making classes because it was going to be, limited to like 10 people and a class a year. And now it's like, no, I can teach 4 or 5 classes a year if we've got the students for them. So that's another way to build bee economy. We're trying to build bee economy. Barry's building the bee economy through this whole project of the bee haven boxes. And then Debbie's going to be creating bee economy on grasses. So wherever we can have these extra little bits and pieces so that we can be confident that if you want to have some kind of an income off your bees and have a business relationship with them, it doesn't always have to be honey. You can offer resources. You can become someone who goes out to people's houses and helps them plant gardens. There's lots of different ways to become a champion for pollinators and make some spending money on the side. So there we be. And then the next thing I just want to briefly bring up, and I'll be talking more about it at the class next week. The class is 9:30 to 3 on Saturday, and then 9:30 to 3 the following Saturday. I don't know how many people are coming, but I do know that one of the people who is coming was so happy to have the class offered for free that she's offering everybody who comes a free lunch. So she's making all the food for us. It's like, yeah, it's going to be great. And Barry's going to come and talk about his Bee Haven box, and I'll have some of the skeps here as well, so you can see all different kinds of hive styles and stuff, and you might even come too, so I'll talk to you about it. Swarm season is coming fast upon us. We had a swarm list last year, we kind of worked our way through it. This year we want to do it entirely differently. We've talked about it a little bit. Who here is in need of bees this year and is going to be looking for bees? Okay, good. Now, to be on our swarm list, you actually have to be an active member. So you got to pay your $30 to be in the club. And Jacqueline is offering a swarm class. It's an all-day class. She usually does it once or twice a year. So yeah, it really is. And if you need a refresher, just come because it's a really great class. And what we're going to do.
The class on it? How many people? I know a lot of you have already been in years like that.
Sure. So she'll set up the dates for that very, very soon. And what we're going to do is two different methods. If you want to catch your own swarm, you need to be available 24/7. You need to have your phone with you all the time. Because when we call you, you have to drop everything. Because bee swarms don't stay on that little fence post for long. They're gone. It's not like, I'll pick them up after work. No. So if you have the flexibility to just go, then that's fine. Then get on the swarm list and we'll call you when a swarm comes in. And then the bees are free. If you want to swarm, but you're not able to go out and get it because your schedule doesn't allow you or your health doesn't, we have people who will go out and catch swarms. And what we want is for you to bring your hives to us. So whatever you want filled, we'll be giving you addresses. It'll probably be at my place and maybe a couple of other places. And you'll bring your hives there. We'll have your name on them. And as the swarms come in, we'll start filling them up, first come, first serve in those boxes. That is $80. And the reason being is that the swarm process for the people that are managing the list is not easy. So we're trying to make a bee economy out of the swarm list.
That's really, very reasonable.
Yes, if you would buy 4 of them, it's like twice. And, some of the swarms are going to be really big. Also, these are not packages. These are local bees. A lot of them will be from our swarms in our yards that, we've already filled up, but we're still getting swarms. So, these are wonderful bees. And if they don't have a queen in it, if it turns out that, it's the swarm with a virgin queen, queens are easy to access around here. Local queens are, so don't worry about that. But so it's $80. 50 of that goes to the person who went out and collected the swarm, and 30 of it goes to the person on the phone. Because the swarm person has to be there 24/7 to take swarm calls. And I can tell you that all the swarm calls come in at dinner time because that's when people get home and see they have a big ball of bees in their backyard. So, you're out pretty late in the evening and trying to get the bees housed. So that's how we'll do it. And you can leave the hive at the house for a week or so after it's full. Doesn't matter to us. Just, it'll be easy to pack it up and move it to your place. So that's how we're doing the swarm situation this year. I am looking for someone to do the phones because I know I will be way too busy.
I'm not volunteering for the phone. I have an idea, a suggestion. I spoke with the guy that started Community Allies.
Mm-hmm.
He's from the Northwest. He operates it through the computer, the phone system. And it might be, we might consider outsourcing that. But
No,
okay.
we haven't gotten responses from it. The people who have signed up for it, it just doesn't show up. So we do better. Jacqueline's been doing swarm work for like 15 years, which means that a lot of people call her, fire departments and people who she knows and pesticide companies. She's made a lot of relationships over the years. So yeah, apartment managers. And any and all of you, we're encouraging you, go out with your own business cards if you need bees and hand them to property management companies, hand them to your local
That's my
police.
biggest source of referrals, property management companies. Who would ever have figured that? But it's someone who has a number of different condos or apartment buildings, like the development kinds. And bees, for some reason, want to be in the stairwell. Like the most popular place. Yeah, and I get the property manager, and people can't get home. They can't get to their apartment door without passing by bees, and they're freaked out. I get a lot of calls for that every year, and it just makes me think, like, if everybody who wanted bees just went and left their number at a property management company, you'd all have bees.
So find your own sources too. We want to encourage as much swarm catching as we possibly can.
I've gotten a lot of
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So any other ideas on that too? And be thinking if there's someone who would like to make $30 a phone call, so I'm happy to let you have the swarm list, which basically means either going, okay, I'm going to call the next person who's on the list and they'll go get them, or we'll have to get one of our regular swarm people like Thea or me or Jacqueline or Jennifer or somebody who's local that can kind of run out and grab a swarm and get it into a box.
So
It typically takes.
none of the club members can get those swarms. Who are you handing these people off to?
What?
Well, a swarm call comes into our system.
I just told you, if none of the members can get it, it's me, it's Thea, it's Jacqueline, it's Jennifer. I'll call Barry. I'll call the people that I know and see who's around, and we will get them.
Did you end up getting a burner or something specifically for?
I have a phone line. I have a phone and a line for the organization that I'm going to hand to somebody. Okay. Okay.
Is it area specific, this area, or?
The greater Portland metro, because we have members that are in Portland.
They
So
were getting
yeah.
some calls like from last year, south of Seattle. Well, then what happened with that, because I got involved in a couple of those, was we found the bee club for that area. It's the best thing we can do, to be able to at least walk out to see people, even though we might not be in the practices that they are with bees. But it's just to be able to finish our responsibility with that. We have a swarm list, and we've got to be able to, if we can't get it, we need to be able to send it on to the next possibility, which is a local club that's out of our area. So
I would say roughly, having done it for so many years, it takes me about half an hour per call. Some of them are whip fast, like 2 minutes and I'm done. But most of them are half an hour because someone's in Troutdale, or I just have to go down the list and talk to 6 people before I could get someone there. So $30 sounds like a great 2-minute wage, but really think of it more like you're going to spend a half an hour on it by the time you
average it out.
Is, question, is the person that is in the form going paid in some way?
They're paying $50 for the swarm. Yeah.
What happens for, you call me, you got a swarm,
Mm-hmm.
you have it on the phone,
Mm-hmm.
and I go, oh, I'll go pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
Do I get to keep that swarm, or do I need to put it into the club's?
If you go pick it up and keep it, it's yours.
Okay.
If you're picking it up for us, then you're paid.
All right.
Yeah. So that's how we think we're gonna run it this year. And if anybody wants to like fine tune it or point out why that wouldn't work at all,
If you're keeping the swarm yourself, you're not paying for that.
no.
No, because you're an active member. That's just a perk that comes with active membership.
Yeah. So that's the deal. Now, we're about an hour in. Would anybody like to take a quick potty break, get some water, get some coffee, come back in 5? Let's do it. Okay. Mill about. Debbie, you can talk to me while they're not here, and we'll put a little pause on our live feed and